did it again at 13 fucking minutes in, and I didn't have the goddamn microphone on. Y'all, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. This is just way too real, okay? God damn it. Alright, well, we're here now. We're gonna have to chop off 14 minutes at the beginning, but my God, and I feel like that was a great rant. I feel like I had a beautiful rant here. Alright, anyways, welcome back, you guys. This is Take 1, Part 2, the redo. America's Reality Check, America's Next Top Model series put out by Netflix. Of course I had to do this. Okay, the stars aligned. I was watching Adrienne Curry's live stream this morning. She was talking about her experience on America's Next Top Model and Janice Dickinson. And then I watched the final episode of the series. And of course, you know I have opinions. You know I have opinions. And you can rest assured it is not the opinion that the rest of the algo is pushing around this, okay? Because, of course not. And I uploaded my 3rd episode recap of The Bride of Charlie, which, you know, Candace, she really needs to get her shit together, because, like, I'm not, she got to pull it together, because she's losing me, okay? Anyway, so, what was I talking about? Girl. Oh, looking right at it. I have almost 1,000 views on my very first episode of Erica, or Candace versus Erica. And y'all, please just punch. I have not read the comments yet, but tickled pink, okay? Tickled pink. Thank you so much. Just a little old nobody out here putting my thoughts into the interwebs because nobody asked me, but I feel compelled to. You know, the narcissist in me, we can at least acknowledge it to that extent, okay? Because again, one of the core tenets of this channel, if you're new here, is acknowledging who you are, warts and all, so that you can skills max, okay? And become who you're meant to be in the most American way possible, because that is what we are about here. Being the best American you can be. Why? Because I'm an American, I live in America, and I want to be the best. And I want the people that I live around to be the best. I want my community to be the best. I want my country to be the best. And I want the people that I have to compete against to be the best. All right? I come from a long line of perfectionists. And I think that it's something that America in particular has ingrained in its cultural ideology, right? Whether you are a criminal or whether you are an actor, a performer, an athlete, a businessman, we expect you to be the best. Why? Because we are Americans, darling. And that's what we do. Okay? It's why everybody wants to come over here. It's why everybody is just banging down the door trying to undermine our foundations and crawl into our neighborhoods and steal our dollars, okay, is because it is just so beautifully cozy and fantastic up in here, all right? It really is, and we need to acknowledge that, appreciate that, so that we can defend it accordingly, all right? Anyways, let's get back to it, all right? Because what do I know? I know that we all need someone like me who will look at everything with an unadulterated lens and tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, all right? Think of me as like a different version of Janice Dickinson, right? I am not a supermodel. That was not a skill that was given to me, all right? That particular set of skill sets passed me by. There were character traits that I did not inherit that would have helped in that regard, right? Short, petite queens, don't do it, all right? And I got too much thigh, okay? But anyways, I am a amateur critic, amateur stupid amateur professional critic. But yeah, like, I am here to just look at things objectively, give a critique that is helpful to potentially and hopefully all parties involved, that you can take and apply to your life so that you can max out the skills that you've been given, right? Now, and the particular avenue that I have chosen is to be classy, not trashy, okay? Because I think a lot about being an American is recognizing the luxury and the privilege that we have, all the way down to that are destitute and needy. And that an enormous part of honoring that, and the very least that we can do as Americans, is to take pride in how we live, in the way that we live, and how we carry ourselves, and how we present ourselves, right? Take care of your shit, all right? Sweep your front porch, pick up your dog poo from the sidewalk, okay? Because we see you, and I'm not putting up with this anymore. No, I'm not gonna live like this. I live in the United States of fucking America, okay? I don't have to be living in a city where you are so damn lazy that you can't pick up your big ass dog turds, all right? This is not the slums of like Abu Dhabi, okay? This is not the slums of like, of Beijing, right? Like, no. Pick your dog do up. We live in a nice place, all right? But anyways, so classy, not trashy, and beauty pageants. How to just succeed in life, because all the world is a stage, all right? All the world is a stage, darling, and that is what we are critiquing, the performance of the parties involved. And in that lens, we are talking about America's Next Top Model, okay, and Reality Check. So, again, I think predominantly this was like a potential launch by Netflix to see if a reboot would work out. And I think that it also was a vehicle for Tyra and possibly the judges and the people involved to apologize to the scolds who watched it and came back with a 2020 lens and tried to like cancel everybody involved because, ooh, problematic. Like, take a rest, y'all. Take a rest. It was not that problematic. All right? It really was not. Like, it wasn't. You need to chill. Because if you think all of that was like so detrimentally harmful and that it didn't give every single one of these young women an opportunity to change her life, you're delusional, all right? You are delusional. And it's, I mean, I don't know. And my takeaways, I had a couple of takeaways. First of all, I think that Tyra is very good. I think there is a reason why Tyra Banks has been so widely successful across a broad spectrum of categories when it comes to entertainment, right? Like, she's not just a model. She did have America's Next Top Model. She was the show. She has been a entertainment public figure for decades now, right? She's had a huge impact on the culture, and she handles herself very well when it comes to PR. And I mean, why wouldn't she? This has been her life. Like, her life is nothing but the superficial management of her image, right? Like, that's Tyra's job. Of course she's going to be adept at it, right? But I think that I think she did a great job. I think that Tyra actually did a really good job handling, especially given the whoever was filming this and producing this. Like, I don't know. I didn't check the credits, so I don't know if maybe even Tyra herself has any production oversight on this, but they did a very good job of like handling her edits, right? And whether you view her as a as a sympathetic figure or not, right? I will say the impression that I got is that they want you to dislike Tyra, right? Like they want you to dislike Tyra Banks, and they want you to dislike Janice Dickinson. And first of all, justice for Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson, as Adrienne Curry says, she's a real one. She's a real G. Like, you know exactly where you stand with Janice Dickinson. She was telling no lies, whether you liked them or not. It was the truth. And from everything that I've heard, she's the only one that actually, you know, truly gave a shit about helping these models, right? And whether you like it or not, it is better to be told the truth rather than have someone who is going to tell you what you want to hear or tell you something to get the reaction that they want out of you, right? Which multiple models / contestants said about Tyra. Like, which of course, this is her show. She was a producer on the show. She knew how to edit the show. Like, she was doing everything that she could to get the reactions that were wanted on the show, right? Like, that's the way that works. And like, is it great? No. And did she handle it poorly? Yes, absolutely. She clearly regrets that, because look at how it's come back to bite her in the ass, right? But like, I don't know. Justice for Janice Dickinson. I am a Janice Dickinson stan. Like, real queens, okay? Honesty over everything. Honesty over empathy. Always and forever. And Miss J, okay? Miss J, icon, queen. Came out of this, still love me some Miss J. Miss J is another one, kind of like Janice. You always know where you stand with Miss J. 10 out of 10. Nigel Barker, a gentleman on all accounts, okay? From all people involved. I think J. Manuel is the sneaky one. If I were to cast this as a show now, J. Manuel, that's the villain. That right there, that's the villain. That's the one that's stirring the pot. That's the one that's trying to like get shit going and trying to get his spotlight is fading, darlings. That's the thing, is that he was not relevant for a while here, okay? Nobody cared. The institutions that had latched onto him were no more. There was no more E. There was no more fashion, red carpet, E, live stream, whatever. Nobody cares, okay? My man needed to relight his limelight and figure out a way to get back in there, all right? And because every single person that's involved in these shows that has a part to play they are a narcissist in one way or another. Why? Because we all are, right? To varying degrees. But this man to come out here talking like he wanted to quit the show, but then just so happened to be convinced to stay for another like 8 years. Cry me a river, boo-boo. And then coming out saying, the whole time with his like over Botox cheeks. Like, that's some honesty for you, Mr. J. Okay, J. Manuel. Quit with the filler. You gotta quit with the cheek filler, my guy, all right? You're at the point you need to just start getting a facelift, all right? It's really, you're getting Madonna-esque here. It's not cute. You need to chill. You're a very attractive man. Don't let it get to you. But you're close. You are close. You are pushing it. Stop. Okay? Just stop. Stop with the fillers. Anyway. But for this man to sit here trying to pretend like the whole time he had reservations and was just quietly sitting in the background thinking like, oh, this is not okay. Like, ooh, this is just not good. We shouldn't be doing this. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. You didn't think anything of the kind. You kept doing it because it was a paycheck and you had your little day in the sun. Okay, you wanted to be a reality star just as much as everyone else involved in the show. Okay, like, we all know that when you got recognized on the street in New York, That was a moment, okay? We know it. Don't try and lie. It's okay, all right? It's okay, boo-boo. But there's no reason to come out here and start trying to muck rake and throw shade and throw tea and throw, shit at people who gave you a career just because you feel like you deserve a little more limelight. It's not cute. It's trashy, okay? That's trashy behavior. And a good example of this, the two J's are actually a perfect example of this, all right? Miss J Alexander, classy. Always has been, always will be, all right? Mr. J Manuel, trashy. Trashy, okay? Now the difference, right? Miss J never directly says anything bad about Tyra. Okay, Miss J just tells you the truth. No, I have not spoken to Tyra. Tyra sent me flowers on my birthday before I was let go, right? That's it. That's a fact. You can interpret it as you will. I'm not going to tell you what to think. It's just what happened, right? That's the way that cookie crumbled. But Miss J is not saying shit, okay? Because you don't go out in public and air your dirty laundry. It is not a good look. Don't do it. It is trashy behavior, all right? What does J Manuel do? J Manuel tries to, the whole 3 episodes is J Manuel out here trying to make it sound like, oh, I secretly thought this was bad and I wasn't really, a part of it. Don't try and distance yourself from the show that gave you a career like that, okay? You were just as involved and just as eating it up and coming up with kooky shit to do as anybody else. And that's fine. It was brilliant. It was a great show. You made history. But to come out here and then write a novel, it's not autobiographical at all. At all. But I just so happened to write this fictional story that sounds an awful lot like me and Tyra Banks. But it's not, y'all. It's fiction. It's fiction. Okay? And even Tyra, they asked Tyra, what about you and Jay Manuel? And Tyra says, no, that's between me and Jay. Class. Okay, Tyra might be losing her mind. Okay, I do not know what is going on with this woman except for all I can say is that I chalk it up to the fact that Tyra Banks is one of the progenitors of where we find ourselves culturally. Okay, she was sucked in the middle of this cyclone when all of this Hollywood, nasty, Epstein, gross, public manipulation, reality TV, spark was happening. And she was at the start of the rise of social media and the effect this has clearly had on this woman's brain is plain as day, all right? She has been through some shit. You need to start thinking about Tyra Banks in the same category as Britney Spears, right? Everybody gives Britney Spears grace and they give her, they give consideration to Britney Spears because, oh, she's been through some shit. Well, you need to start be giving Tyra Banks some kudos there too, okay? Because same. All right, and she's holding it together well, y'all, all things considered. But, and then, at the end of this, Mr. J, I smell something, okay, and it's coming from Mr. J, in my opinion, all right, and no, And then, and frankly, I think, they talk about how Nigel and the Jays got dropped again when the C-suite change happened. And I think that was probably the best for them. Leave it the high. All 3 of them talk about it gave them enormous careers creatively. And then the models. And again, I said before, they talk about in the closing of the show, the careers that they've had and how they were able to, even if they didn't become models, they transitioned into other areas and found enormous success, and all of them are happy, right? So so it was great, right? America's Next Top Model changed the fashion industry. Sure, it didn't take immediate effect like you had hoped, right? Like, of course, if you're going to be the first plus size or curve model in the industry, there's not going to be a department specifically for you yet. But like, to be the first, like, come on, like, that's incredible. Like, can you imagine, like, in the pantheon of modeling, like, it's always going to be you. It's always going to be Whitney from season 10 of America's Next Top Model. It will always be her. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, right? And none of the models that have had success after that would have been there without you. And like, that's an incredible thing. I think that, honestly, I think we have to get back to a point, and I'm gonna have to wrap this up because I have to pee again. Too much coffee, and I've been trying to hydrate simultaneously. So like, the kidneys are working. But I think that we have to get back to a place where we recognize that sometimes, not sometimes, but always, whenever you want to grow, it's painful. You have to be willing to take pain, to take failure, to take hardship in order to find growth, in order to find new ground, in order to break new ground, in order to break barriers, in order to change minds, in order to alter industries. You have to be willing to cause a stir. You have to be willing to take the good with the bad. You can't have change without breaking things, right? Like, that's what it is. You're breaking barriers. You're like, that's the very way that you discuss it implies that there is going to be friction. There's going to be hard, like, pain, right? It's going to be a struggle. And that's what growth is. That's what expansion is. That's what being uncomfortable is. Being uncomfortable is just your instincts letting you know that we've never been here before, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being able to look around and say, oh my God, I've never been here before. Like, I've never felt this way before. I've never been in this situation before. And then figure out how to navigate it, right? And then look back and say, you know what? I could have done things differently, but like, I learned a lot, right? And like, come on. America's Next Top Model, that shit was incredible. That shit was groundbreaking. It's such good TV, even now. And if you think that any of it has changed, darling, as someone who's been on a reality TV show, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's just gotten to be bad TV. At least the original seasons, until the CW new CEO came in and fired the Jays and Nigel Barker, until that happened, I mean, America's Next Top Model was phenomenal reality TV. And every TV show that's been going on that long, like, look at Project Runway. Look at Project Runway. Okay? Same trajectory. Same trajectory. But anyways, all, as Tyra says multiple times, there are no sacred cows. All right, y'all. Stay classy, not trashy. Don't trust anyone. And it doesn't get any better than this. I gotta go pee. Bye, y'all.